Bring me on. Let's sort of get things going here. I probably should bring this down. There we go. I usually come in here about, let's adjust the camera here. We haven't rolled the open yet, so we're still kind of coming up next in a moment. We always check the audio, right, before we get rolling and play the open. Let's just see how that's going and see if we're all good today. Let everybody get in. I hope. Let's see. I hear myself. I see myself. See if I hear myself. Yeah, I do hear myself. Hear myself, see myself jumping out there. We can bring the coming up next down, and we can get ready to roll the open. You guys ready to roll the open? We're all ready to roll the open, aren't we? Let's roll it. Here we go. Three, two, one. Here we go.
Well, it's baseball time in Siouxland once again. The Explorers are out to bring home another win. And when they take the field, they'll be hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style. Baseball Sioux City style. Gonna conquer the league. Hold on to your seat. The Explorers just won't be beat.
Oh, yes. You can see me dancing today, too. Let's bring something down here and bring this down. Let's see here. Bring that down. Got like three things on the screen there. I'm kind of watching it here in the remote thing here. Glad you're along, everybody. Let me get settled in. Let's see if I can get this sort of moved around here. Get the screens kind of going, and we will be ready to go. There we go. Let's bring this one down as well. How about which one am I going to find here? I don't know. We'll figure it out here. All right, Explorers Expresso. It is a. Hold on a second here. Let's do this. Do this. Do this. Maybe that'll work. Anyway, glad you guys are along. It's the what is it, the 6th? 6th of May? Something like that. I'm gonna do one thing real quickly here while we're kind of you know what, but while we're waiting around here, because I'm just kind of stumbling around here. Let me show you this. Look at this. Ooh ah, ooh ah. It's a beautiful day at the ball yard. How about that? Looks beautiful out there. That's a looking live at the ballpark. You're looking live at the ballpark on this 6th of May. Ball yard looks great. Very nice today. Which makes me think, we'd like to have, at least on paper anyway, right? On paper. Thank you, Sean. Very kind of you. Good to see Sean out there. You're looking out there now. It's a beautiful day. You're thinking, boy, it'd be great to have a nice cold beer, nice warm hot dog, or whatever the case may be. You'd be fired up about that, but you'd be a little cold today. You can see me. I've actually got this thin jacket on up here in the press box. A little frosty out there today. You're going to see Girk out there as well, Robbie as well. Play ball. Let's play two at a cold day. The X's will talk about that in just a moment there, but LCP is looking good. It is looking good, my friend. Lewis and Clark Park is looking good. And by the way, before we get to that, let's get some headlines. First off, my question for the show. Today's question is, of all the food items that you get at Lewis and Clark Park, you know what? I'm going to throw that out there. You go to Target Field, you go to Wrigley, you go to Globe Life, you go to Fenway, wherever ballpark you go to. But I'm going to hopefully be very Sioux City centric here. Wherever ballpark you go to, Lewis and Clark Park, for example, what is the concession item that you most are looking forward to? What is it? What is it? I don't know. Some folks might just say, I just want a good bag of sunflower seeds. I get it. Some folks might want ballpark nachos. Some folks might want boozy slushies. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. We're going to talk concessions today on our show. My question for you, what you're looking forward to most concession-wise. We're going to talk concessions in a moment because I think this fantastic fantastic director of hospitality we have here. Jessica's going to join us in a few moments. In about 4 minutes, we're going to have her on after we get to some headlines, but we're going to talk concessions. A lot of really cool things are going on. There's a lot of really cool things going on at the ballpark right now in general. If you look in the left of your screen, I'm going to put this screen up as we talk about things going on great. There we go. I'm going to bring the graphic down. You guys on the podcast, you can't see this. Yeah, you know what? That camera needs to be mirrored, doesn't it? It's actually reversed. Let's do that. Let's mirror the camera. There we go. That's the way the camera should look. There we go. If you look at the left of your screen, you see an arm, a kind of a bucket arm there, crane truck. Well, right there, they're doing what you may have read about maybe on socials today. You may have read about in the journal. You may have seen it on TV. KSCJ had it. But there's a naming change here. The baseball playing service at Lewis and Clark Park will be now known as Security National Bank of Sioux City. Well, actually, Security National Bank Field at Lewis and Clark Park. So that's what they're doing out there. You see that screen in the middle of the screen to the left. You see them out there. They're changing the back of the school board. And if you were driving up 20 or down 20, you would see that the signage is already up there. But they're actually putting something over the top of the school board right now. But yes, so that is news you guys may have missed. It is news. Officially happened yesterday. But again, it will be, once again, it's a mouthful, but it's a good mouthful. Security National Bank Field at Lewis and Clark Park. So welcome those folks to the family, and glad they're along. And that does clarify a little bit of sort of the questions that are going on. Let's see here. Robbie says we're tailgating on Saturday. Sean says I want ballpark barbecue. Jason says, hey, Davey, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Jason was late. We need a tardy slip for him. But there we go. That's all that right there. Other pieces of news as well. I didn't get to this last week, but I will get to it now. There's a new ownership group down in Kansas City. I may have referenced it 2 weeks ago that I thought some things were coming up, but congratulations to the new folks in Kansas City. Mark Brandmeyer sold the team down there to a group that owns Pensacola and Beloit. That's the Double A Southern and the Midwest League. But the Beloit, what are those guys called? Beloit. Used to be called the Snappers. What are they called now? I know it's the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Sky Carp. That's right, Sky Carp. That's what they are. But that group purchased the Kansas City Monarchs 2 weeks ago, I believe. Quint Stutter, I believe is how you say his name, is the new owner, and they've got a new ownership group. So welcome them to the American Association as those headlines as well. Other headlines as well we'll get to before we get to concessions quickly. I want to get to these quickly. Transaction-wise, get you caught up on transactions. Just in general, now you may have seen this, you may not. I'll blow through them quickly, and then we'll come back and visit them again at the tail end of the show. I'm going to get back to the roster a little bit. I will talk a little bit about the roster, where things are going at the moment. But transaction-wise, the X's signed Hunter Cachero, young man, right-hander out of Kansas City area. We'll talk about him a bit later on. The X's also added, I guess it would have been on Monday, J.D. McCracken, a lefty out of Rice. And then Zach Vuletich was brought back over the weekend as well. Looking for another Red Raider back. Love you, Zach. Glad he's back. We'll get to the roster a bit later on. There was 11 transactions in total for the course of the weekend. We will get to that at the back end of the show when we get done talking concessions and all that applies, which I am so excited about this. Next part of it. Oh, one more thing, too. I want to give you one more thing before we move along. This actually happened a few moments ago. This was about, I don't know, this would have been 15 minutes ago by now, something like that. So I can't say you're looking. Oh, there we go. You're looking at the team final loading up there outside of Lewis and Clark Park there. Team headed to Lincoln right now. That's a 6 o'clock game tonight. The team will be there tonight. There's no broadcast tonight, but they're heading on their way down to Lincoln tonight, and wishing those boys well. It's their first. We're the first live action will be tonight. So yeah. R.I.P. Pensacola Pelicans. Matt Ard says they seem to change owners quickly down in Kansas City. Perhaps that's probably discuss that later on. Matt also says I watched them grow in Beloit. They're a AAA team of the Brewers. Their old bark was called yes, not quaint little park. No. Uh, what I will say to you about that situation, guys, as we see the team pulling away, the situation in Kansas City. Let me go back to tell you about that a little bit. But what they've done there is phenomenal. They were going to lose their team to contraction a couple of years ago, but the ownership of Beloit came in, got that ballpark built in downtown Beloit, and I was there many moons ago. It's a little different story now. There goes the team right now as you see them pulling away, heading on their way to Lincoln, and it gets you going tonight as the X is heading to Haymarket Park tonight. We'll have a little something to talk about, I guess, on over the course of the weekend. But without further ado, let's play our little intro for our. We do this for our. I do this once in a blue moon. I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm so fired up. Here we go. It's our groovy intro, and there she is. Jessica Hutchinson is on with us. She's downstairs. I'm upstairs. Now, I'm calling you director of hospitality. First off, how you doing? Can you hear
Great.
me?
How are
Great.
you?
All right, good. I'm good. Glad to see your smiling face. I call you a hospitality guru. Everybody's a guru around here because Emma does ticket guru, Emily does marketing guru, Travis does Travis guru. Everybody does guru, right? But you are our director of concessions of hospitality. You are a busy, busy lady right now with all kinds of things going on. First off, how fired up are you for the 2026 Extra season?
I'm so excited this season, Dan. I can't explain it. I'm fired up.
You are fired up, and what a lot of people don't know. Pull the curtain back. Uh, Jessica's not at home just kicking it. She's been here every stinking day. She was here before I was. It was I'm never here early, but that's not saying a lot. But she was actually here this morning before 8, doing her thing, getting things ready. There's a lot that goes into it. I want to start there if we get the menu and things like that. But I know that maybe there's not a lot for you to do in January except ordering. But boy, right now you are really, really busy. I mean, you are cracking and going.
Oh yeah, especially with all that construction going on in that parking lot. We got a lot of dust, dirt, everything into concessions. It's been a lot of cleaning.
Yeah, you guys are rocking. When I tracked her down yesterday, I caught her kind of but she was down there working away in that concession area down there yesterday. It is a busy time. You do also a lot of the preseason things are busy because you gotta look at the schedule and go, okay, I gotta have a plan here. Maybe give the fans the basics of how that works for you and how you go about your planning. I mean, not necessarily maybe not the numbers, but how do you go about that? Because you just don't just show up and say, I need 5 hot dogs. You got to plan out.
It's really hard, especially for an ADHD brain sometimes. But it also helps me by multitasking because I can do 100 things at one time. And with this job, that's exactly what I have to do. I have also, through the spring training, with the guys being here, starting their practices and whatnot, I've been making meals for them, to take a load off of other things. They haven't had to worry about their meals. So, I've been slowly getting orders in, slowly, pretty much everything is cleaned up, thank goodness. But getting ready for the exhibition game and then the games after that, plus all of the parties that I plan and the buffets that I do there, the team meals, getting everything perfect. It's a lot, but my brain can manage it. So,
You've done fantastic work, and I want to take you guys back. 'Cause I don't know if a lot of I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the air. And it's not, I mean, I don't want to go dive into a lot of it here, but you kind of got thrown into the fireplace a little bit a couple years ago. I mean, you basically had a whirlwind training, and all of a sudden, boom, here you go. And it was, I mean, you've been in the hospitality industry, but it was a learning curve for you, but you really got thrust into it. You didn't have a lead up. You were like, boom, here I am. Did your head spin that first year?
oh, it was crazy. I mean, all of the fans, everyone's seen me. I didn't just walk fast. I didn't jog. I literally sprinted constantly. Um, and slowly over the seasons, my sprint has been able to slow down a little bit. So it just shows what I was thrown into. I had 1 day of training, and then the person I took over for was gone. So uh, it helped me learn quick. It helped me get the beat, and now I've got it, and I'm taking off, and I'm really excited.
I love to, and I think that you guys will see this if you've met Jessica, you'll see this. I know my family's seen her and met her coming through here on the visits, and just you'll see a smiling face, and that's part of it, right? I mean, we got to be smiling, but you're always in that mood, man. It just seems like you're in a good, yeah. Even though your hair is on fire, you're smiling. You're
Right
smiling
through
despite it.
it. That's right. You've got to. I love what I do. And I think that's why I do so good here, is because I'm very passionate about it. I love it and I'm here to have a good time no matter what.
Jessica Hutchison is with us here on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you. You guys on the podcast. We're glad you're along as well. Yeah, it's you. And what I love too is that when I got here last week, you had there's some ideas we're working on, and you kind of admitted that I'm a food person, but I'm kind of learning the baseball thing as well. But you're hell, you're making progress. I'd say you're learning a little baseball now. You're catching on, right?
That's right. I came without first season I couldn't even read the scoreboard to you. So that says something. I'm glad you like
Hey, well,
that.
hey, we win. It's great, right? If you lose, it's not good. That's all I got to know.
Right.
Wins good, lost bad. That's simple as that. Oh man, great stuff. But I love it because she's got and I'll pull the curtain back. We were kind of I keep saying pull the curtain back. We were coming up with some ideas about eating your opponent, and Jessica's got this cute little note there that says, "Now I'm a food person, but not a baseball person, so help me out here, and no seafood, which is all I get it, but I love it. It's a great thing. Um, there's been some changes this year. Let's start with that. We've done some things and I guess, and I'm kind of leading the way here, but we've gone the cashless route. That's been sort of something we're doing. Uh, I know some of that was concessions, or maybe most of it was concessions oriented. Uh, walk us through that. I know this is probably before Travis, Tom, and you probably discussed this. Walk us through that and how that should be a plus for the fans.
You know, One thing I can say that slowed us down on concessions, getting people in and out, was the cash transactions. Those those drawers worked slower than my employees. There was a lot of times we would have everything out to them, and we were still waiting for that drawer to pop open for cash. So I'm hoping that it will keep our lines going. It will just speed everything up. It will prevent me from having to literally run every 20 minutes to the safe to get more cash. That took up a lot of my time, and being one person with 20 to 30 employees can be pretty tough. So I'm really thinking this cash thing, the no cash is going to be good for us.
Yeah, it's a change for a lot of folks, and I know a lot of we appreciate everybody's patience here. Chris says, "I love the amount of women in the Explorers organization. That's a great trend. Very good, Chris, down in Kansas City. Yes, yeah, it's I'm kind of the. I think Travis and I are kind of outnumbered. Pretty much, we're pretty badly. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. That's a good thing. I ask you that. That's not what I was going to ask, but I'll ask you that anyway. You are a woman in sports. Does that cross your mind that it's kind of cool I'm a woman in sports?
Absolutely love it. I admire my title and I brag about it, and especially to my small town, of 3,000 people where they've known me my entire life. I love going and saying I'm the food and beverage director for the Sioux City Explorers baseball. Like, it's amazing. It's a great title.
That's awesome. Good for you. I mean, we're glad that you do it. Good question there, Chris. Dan Vaughn with you on Explorers Expresso. We're talking with Jessica Hutchinson. She's our food and beverage guru, I call her, but director of food and beverage concessions. And there's a lot of different ways you can say the title. It's a great title. She does a great job. You can't miss her here. Does a great job here at the ballpark. One more thing, you've got some other little tweaks, and they're not maybe things that people are going to notice right away, where they might notice a little bit. Some of those tweaks, you're going to do some different how do I put this? Point of sale, or maybe not point of sale is the wrong word. Different lines and things. Maybe walk us through how that looks. It's gonna be a little different for the fans. It'll be good for them.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. This is another thing, another reason I think it will get our lines moving. So instead of every window being you can order whatever you want, full kitchen, I'm going to have designated areas, grab and go items, such as your fast, quick, easy things that my runners get for you, drink windows. There's going to be certain windows designated just for like the full kitchen, where then you know you might have to wait a little bit for that fresh chicken or pork tenderloin to come up. I'm going to try to put out more stands throughout the in the stands, so like portable places, so you don't have to walk all the way into concessions to get a cold beer. Now we have done the beer cart up in the stands before. I am working hard at getting at least one more up there every game, so we'll have two beer stands and possibly a portable beverage cart that doesn't do beer, but it's going to be more for water, soda, maybe even some popcorn, um, just so that you don't have to go and wait in that line for 10 minutes to get a hot dog.
Great stuff. That's again. Some of you folks may not see that. You may not. I think what you're going to see, and this is my take. I've done, obviously I do this, broadcasting. I go to a lot of ballparks over the years. I think these are things you won't notice until you actually experience them by going down there. And it may be a couple of games. I remember. I'll just use the Rangers for example. They made a tweak a couple of years ago that I went like, wait, it's pretty easy, and I used to dread it, right? There'll be little things it'll sort of be like, wait, this is kind of cool. I think a lot of those little things, it'll be, you won't walk in the gate and say a light will be blinking at you. It'll be one of those things you have to go through, and I think that's going to be really good for our fans. And really, let's be honest, you and I know this. I think that it's no secret since I've been here since 23. This often been the complaint was the line and how the efficiency, and that should be addressed in a huge way.
For sure, for sure. I really think it will.
Yeah, the beer leaders say we love it. Sean says you're the food princess. He says that's pretty nice. That's a nice. There you go. That's a new business card title. As we talk to Jessica here about the concessions and all that. Well, we got a crew. Every director's got a crew. I've got a small crew. Usually it's Andrew, and then I guess sort of to a lesser, well, not a lesser degree. Eric's great. He's my part of my crew, and then uh, I guess Luke Larson's part of my crew. Anyway, my crew up here. We had Jamie Miller. We all have a crew, right? You got a crew. Um, that's an exciting bunch. Talk about your staff. Do you have any returning faces this year? Do you got a lot of newbies? What do you got?
So my cook, also my husband,
Yes.
he's my handyman, my everything man. Of course, he's going to be back cooking the food. He's been having lots of fun experimenting with me with different things.
Now, what do we call? We don't just call him Cook, do we? Does he have names and all that?
Cubs,
Yeah, okay,
actually.
yeah. I wanted you to say it. I don't want to. Make sure I got it right. But yeah, he said he doesn't just go by Cook, although he might. I don't know. Does he just go by Cook? He could. Does he answer to Cook? Did I just say Cook?
No, everyone yells Chubs, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
there.
And that's anyway. I'm sorry I didn't interrupt you there because I will get to him in a second because I just saw him a moment ago. But rest of your staff, you got him back. You got some newbies and some vets.
I have Brody, which is returning, going to be the same season. Well, as I started, he was an employee here. He's our in seat. He's going to be our number one. I've got Ariel, Bree. I've got Bella, our bartender, as you say, bar leader.
Bartender, beer leader. Yeah.
Yeah, beer leader. Quite a few coming back from 2024, actually. I do have a few young new ones coming this year, and then there's quite a few coming back from last year. So we have a pretty experienced crew. I'm going to probably put them more up and about at my different point of sale places, and then have my newbies in concession learning the ropes.
There you go. There we go. Jessica Hutchinson joining us here on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you. We're on not April, gosh, Vaughn, May 6th. I guess I had too much Cinco de Mayo, which I guess we'll jump right into the some of the questions about. And it says here, Sean says, what will the signature concessions have at the park? Well, let's just dive into that. We've got our basics, the hits. You don't mess with the hits, right? The hits are going to be the hits, right? So the hits will be our standard hits, the dogs and the burgers and the chicken sandwiches, right? Let's just start with the hits. What are the hits?
All right, of course, Our hot dogs, biggest seller, same, all beef, great dogs. Our cheeseburger, we switched up the meat a little bit this year, but I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Same with, of course, our pretzels. Our pulled pork nachos, those have been coming and rising. I smoke the meat here myself. This year I put a twist on it. Instead of the corn chips that you usually get, I ordered these new potato waves. So it's kind of like a potato wedge, and that's going to be the base of these smoked pulled pork nachos. It's going to be really, really amazing. Um, Last year we did a chef special where actually Chubbs came up with it. We did macaroni and we smothered that smoked pulled pork over the top of it. It was such a big hit. It is now on our menu, and it's going to be the smoked piggy mac. You get quite a bit in that too. It's pretty filling. This year I'm bringing tenderloins. I went
Yes.
out, I sampled 5 or 6 different tenderloins before I chose my tenderloin, but I think you're all going to be really happy if you're from Iowa and love a good tenderloin sandwich especially for a ballpark. I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit. Of
Tell
course,
you
we have our
personally. I'm sorry.
Broadzilla too.
Oh yeah, yeah, Bronzilla, right? Bronzilla.
Broadzilla. It's coming back, and this year I added a foot long corn dog to go as well. So we'll have 2 big foot long
Hey,
dogs.
Jessica Hutchinson with us. We're talking concessions now. I'm gonna rewind the clock here. Uh, the tenderloin. I'm gonna. We're not just talking like she went to the store and said, "I'll just take that and we'll just throw it on." We'll just do that. We actually taste tested the tenderloin that she's picked, so I can tell you. Oh, I already have tasted the tenderloin last Thursday, or Friday. I can't remember what day it was, but she actually had a. I mean, it was a scientific way of testing it. We just all used the taste buds, and we all agreed. And Jessica was all fired up. And I think the funny thing about it was everybody tried the tenderloins. We all agreed to the one tenderloin that she picked as well as her favorite. So I can tell you a lot of science went into this, right? So tenderloin, folks, was scientifically chosen by our taste buds. We did a great job.
That's
Did we
right.
do a good job or what?
We did. We did.
Teamwork, teamwork, teamwork.
That's right.
Couple questions here. Let's see. As I continue to let's see. We'll get to that in a moment, Chris. I'll give that Peter as well on the back end of this. Can we also get the link to the online? I'll get that for you guys in just a moment. All right, here we go. Now you're talking. I don't see tenderloins. Don't see tenderloins at any ballpark. No, you're going to see tenderloins here, right? You're going to see tenderloins at the ball. That's a local. It's a local thing. That's what we do here. Tenderloins are an Iowa thing, and so yes, Sean, you're going to see that. Um, Okay, that's a new thing. Any other items that might be of interest to folks that maybe are making a comeback, perhaps, or something like that?
How about slushies?
Oh, oh my gosh! And that's what Chris said. Is I heard a rumor that boozy slushies were coming back. Is this true?
It is. You can make them dirty for a little bit of an upcharge. I'm gonna have 2 different sizes. You can have them clean. You can have them dirty, whichever one. There's only going to be there's 1 window but 2 lines for this slushie. So if you want a slushie, you got to find the correct window and walk for it because I'm not gonna bring it to you.
There you go. Well, you know what? Uh, Dr. Vaughn, my wife, she likes them dirty. She likes them dirty. So she's excited. And I told you this when my wife was so excited when I was just got her emailing a couple weeks ago, and I go, honey, come here. She walked over. I said, look over my shoulder. I said, look at that. She was like, I did like a happy dance there in the house because she was excited for boozy slushies, or dirty slushies, we'll call them the dirty slushie. But that's exciting.
I can't
Now,
tell you how exciting I am. I have so many different kinds already, Dan. I don't know how I'm going to keep up. I mean, I found cotton candy, root beer, cherry, strawberry, so many different kinds. So
yum,
we're
yum.
gonna have
Here
fun.
we are. Uh, are walking tacos still a thing? That's a question being asked as well.
They are. Yep. They're not gonna be on the ballpark favorites menu. It's gonna be more on the snacks because it's gonna be a grab and go item.
Right,
But
right.
they are there.
And then let's talk about grab and go. You've got that's sort of a new thing. It's a tradition. Not tradition. It's a new thing. A lot of ballparks are doing where you're getting the quick, even airports. As a guy who travels a lot, the grab and go stuff. You're on the road to the gate to gate or whatever it is. The convenience of grabbing something. Talk about the grab and goes. The grab and goes.
Okay, so the grab and goes, you can get a hot dog even at the grab and go. Okay. But besides the hot dog, like popcorn, my specialty popcorn, the pretzels with cheese, the nachos, pulled pork nachos is going to be a kitchen thing, so I take that back. But just the regular nachos you can get. We've got pickles, we've got chips, we've got candy, edible cookie dough, churros. I'm actually doing different specialty churros this year. I did have you guys try some Oreo cream filled and
Yes.
then another type of cream filled churro. Those will be a grab and go option as well. Same with, let me see, like all of our ice cream, our frozen brownies. Those are really, really good and coming back. Edible cookie dough. Any of our pickles, yes, any of this stuff here is going to be all grab and go.
I'm gonna
And
put you. The screen's messed up, but I got you anyway. You guys see it right there, right there, the screen. There we go. Delicious sweets there. Yes. You know what? I got to tell you, the edible cookie dough is. As a kid growing up, Jessica, cookie dough was like a kryptonite for me. And we, the Pillsbury roll there in the fridge, and I'd slice up. Man, I love that stuff. I just that takes me back. That's exciting. Rest of the sweets, all good stuff. Do you have a personal sweet favorite there?
Mine would probably be the edible cookie dough. And I really like those frozen brownies too. They're really,
Uh,
really good.
they look outstanding. Again, I tell you, the churros were great too as well. They were awesome the other day. Here on Explorers Expresso, Dan Vaughn, we're talking concessions. Jessica Hutchinson, who's the smiling face you see down there with her crew, who keep it all going at LCP here. And as a guy who travels the team, I get, and just so you'll know, once you guys hear this, the fans out there, not every ballpark I mean, there's some big ballparks, got some great concessions, but I don't think any place in our league is as down home and friendly and what's the word for it? Less we are less corporate, which is good because you're gonna get a real down home snack. Your snacks are down home. They taste good. Dadgummit, they taste good. And I get the broadcasters tell me, Jack Michaels from Fargo says, man, DB, I love coming to Sioux City. I like this or that. And I've had one of the young guns in the Lake Country loves the Mac. He loves that Mac. The broadcasters give this place a thumbs up, Jessica. So you should know this. So
Mm,
good news. Good news. Good news. The boys like it. Yeah, as Sean says, wow, what a menu. That is a good menu. Um, challenges. Let's talk challenges for you. What's a challenge for you on a daily basis, or just what's the challenge in your department? I know we all have them. I know we got them. It's not a walk in the park always.
challenges? It's a walk in the park. What do you mean, Dan? I don't have no challenges.
It's so easy. We just open the gates, people come in, right? We don't just
That's
show
right.
up. Oh,
um,
good.
I actually go home and go to bed thinking about work and everything I have to do the next day and how to plan it. Because honestly, I just want everything to go right.
Right,
No, it
right.
will not happen all the time, but that's what I aim for.
Yeah.
My real own challenges would probably just have to be like worried about having enough people show up for work or um, making sure I made calculated enough food for our parties, how busy we're going to be. Making sure that we have no Wi Fi problems and everything is printing correctly to wherever needs to go. Another thing that kind of worries me a bit is just injuries while we're at work with the kids working in concessions, just always making sure they're all okay. No heat problems. I've had a lot of heat strokes, heat exhaustion. Chubbs has gone down in the kitchen, I think 2 or 3 times last season. I
Mhm.
had him laying in my office. So being the head of it all in the face, it comes with a lot of fears and worries, but we get through it.
Explorers Expresso and Jessica Hutchinson talking concessions. Dan Vaughn with you. Ron asking, are there going to be plenty of concessions workers so that we're not standing in line for an inning or two?
Well, I
This
hope so.
is just what she had. There you go. I knew the answer was coming, and she said, I hope so. I agree. I
Right
think that's,
now, I
and
am overstaffed,
I
but
think
with
that's the reason some of the things we were doing is to help that out as well.
correct, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard with concessions. I start the season now every season overstaffed, but they can fall off, it doesn't always it's not always in my benefit, but I'll be right out there with them running and making sure everyone gets taken care of as quickly as possible.
Just a couple more minutes here with you. Ground for you. I mean, we kind of joked a little bit. You kind of joke that you don't know baseball, but you know hospitality. You know this business. Uh, Maybe give the fans the elevator pitch on your career and how you got to the Explorers.
Well, okay, so my career, I mean, I graduated with my business administration degree about 9 years ago. Um, while I had my two kids at home and was homeschooling them, but I did accomplish it and I got it. After that, we moved here to take care of my parents, and I pretty much just took care of my parents, took care of my kids, homeschooled, worked at Casey's here and there. But I've always loved food. I'm an herbalist and do my own things naturally as well, and make my own medicine and everything. Well, when this came into my lap, I couldn't pass it up, especially being outside. We're an outside family. It all it was crazy the way it happened because of the way I was kind of thrown in it and had to learn really fast, but I'm so glad it happened to me at the same time.
It's a blessing to have you, and it's such enthusiasm. We love it. She's a real hard worker, folks. I'm telling you. And here's the thing, and I was going to finish with this because I know family's important to you. I mean, it's a family thing for you here. We already kind of joked about it a little bit, but you're doing this while you're also. Oh, by the way, I'm a mom too, and I got that going on. I'm amazed by that. I think that's great. Give us the family background. Because I think it was Saturday. I think one of the kiddos was here Saturday with the maid. I think right.
Yep, my kids love coming and hanging out and being here and seeing everything. So Chubbs and I have been together for 15 years, married for 13. We have a 13-year-old boy that's turning 14 this summer. We've got an 11-year-old boy as well, and we have a 6-year-old daughter that was a surprise to us as we moved here. But they love what I do. They brag at school to everyone about what their mom and dad does, and it's great. They all love baseball, and you'll probably all see them around. They come to pretty
Yeah,
much every game.
no doubt, and those are cool kids because they're able to. I mean, yeah, like for example, what I'll give you an example. Now, my when I was in elementary school, my dad was a axle salesman, right? But when I got in junior high and in high school and college, my dad was a beer distributor, which was true. This is actually my dad was a Coors distributor down in Houston, and so suddenly I went from sort of like, well, what's your dad do? What's that? So all of a sudden, invited all the parties. So it was a good thing. So I was always invited as a freshman in high school. I got invited to all the parties because they just figured, well, his dad's a beer distributor. He's surely gonna have a big party, right? I mean, come on, I mean that. So I guess your kids have got the moms and the explorers. They're all gonna want tickets and merch and food. Your kids are gonna be very popular. They know this, right? They know this.
They do. They take advantage of it. They know it too well.
Jessica Hutchinson here. Let's a couple questions for the audience, and then we will move along. Let's see here. This is a good point. Chris says, I feel like a lot of teams with trademarks, like Milwaukee, has the milkshakes. Sioux City has the Brotzilla and Boozy Slush. He's a killer 1-2 punch. And I think it's very important. We do want to make sure we have. I mean, it's like any successful restaurant. You said Casey's earlier. I know that they have a bit going with the pizzas and all that. Everybody's got something that makes them them, and we've got to do that's a big goal for you.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
And that's there's no. Let's see here. Tell me the guy. Beverly says thank you. Plenty of onions. I would echo that. Plenty of
I
onions.
got you, girl.
Yeah. Now, is there now Beverly? I will say because that's the funny part. The youngsters that work back there for you, they're great. And I'll come up and grab my food and my brick innings, and I'll come down. And I like jalapenos. I mean, I'm a Texan. We like spicy stuff, and so I and I'll ask. I'll order no matter what it is. hot dog, broad, tuna. I'm gonna have jalapeno. And they look at me, and they always because they're shocked. Like, wait, you're gonna put those on your sandwich, right? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, it's so funny because the look on their face. I said jalapenos. So finally, by July, they just started handing me jalapenos, knowing I need jalapenos. Right? He needs jalapenos.
Yep.
Do you like jalapenos? You a jalapeno guy?
I do,
There
yep.
you go. All right. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much. Oh, Dan, I'm pixelating. Okay, sorry about that. Well, we're also going to do some fun things too with you. We're going to do some features on the broadcast as well. Looking forward to. It's going to be called "What's in the Kitchen." We're going to do it. You're going to see a little bit from Jessica and company down there what they're doing. We're going to get you some inside scoop on the broadcast. Looking forward to that. Hey, I'm so fired up to have you, Jessica. And I'm so glad that you joined us today. And we're all hungry. We're all ready to go. I'll let you go back to what you were doing, which was busy, busy, busy. Appreciate you and go X's.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Dan.
You're awesome. You're awesome, kiddo. We'll see you downstairs later. There she
Alright.
goes, Jessica
Bye,
Hutchinson,
guys.
right there at Explorers Expresso. You guys are going to be taken care of this year. There she goes. Boy, she does a great job. I mean, I'm telling you, it's that's a hard deal, man. What you do there, what you do in that business is hard. I mean, I go on the air and I don't have to. I mean, I'm looking at the game and it's coming at me like that, but I don't have to worry about oh my gosh, is the sun melting my staff where they're having heat stroke, or oh my gosh, we're out of this and this, right? I mean, I went to a restaurant the other day that was out of Caesar dressing, and I brought me a salad no dressing. I mean, those are things you got to worry about, right? And the customer's got to be right, and you got to figure out how to make them. It's a lot of moving parts. Everybody is a customer, and every customer is always right. We know this, right? And every customer's got to be happy. We know this. And it's a challenge. And what she does with her staff is something I just couldn't do. And I respect what she does immensely. And I hope you guys are as fired up about having her. And I think it's important you guys know our entire staff. I mean, I think you guys should know it's what we've had Emily on and Emma on. We've had Travis on. Travis will be on every Sunday in our broadcast, right? Those are important pieces of the puzzle. And you've got to know as fans what these folks are about. They're not just folks in an X's shirt. That's a person the X's shirt. They're actually people with jobs and passions. They want to be here for you, and they love the X's like you do. And that's the thing. I worked places where the front office, for the most part, liked the team, but some of them didn't like the team. Here we all love this team. We love this brand. We love this town. We love what we do. We love this ballpark. Our little engine that could. But I think that you guys will see great things from her. A couple things here. Get back to Explorers Expresso. Sean was asking if the stadium's going cashless. Yes, we are, but a lot of them are. Um, I went to the ATM for the first time recently in this country in like 9 months. Doesn't happen a lot. I mean, now you've got situations. I was in. My wife and I were in Intercontinental Airport or Bush Airport down in Houston a month or so ago. We walked through, and there's actually they have these devices where you walk in these little to a gate, and they have a DFW other places too. But you walk through, you grab your grab and go items, your chips, your drink, whatever, and you basically swipe on the way out the door. That's what it is. There's stadiums that do that. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, there's a whole area of like a little mini convenience store right in the ballpark. So that's going. That's the way it's going. I'm not. I'm just telling you that's the way it's going. Doesn't mean that yes, I miss cash. I miss the whole having cash because it makes me feel like okay, I got 20. I've got 20 in my pocket, right? I got to check my balance now on the ATM, that kind of thing. But I mean, still, I was pixelating. Am I still pixelating? I don't know if I am. But let's see here. Is cash is I should have asked this, Ron. Is cashless system going to hurt the consumption of groups, birthday parties? Kids don't have cards. No, the birthday parties are not going to have an issue with that. Kiddos, I don't. That's a different question, Ron. I'll have to find out for you, and I will do that. Cheese cups for popcorn. I did not ask her that. You guys all got in late here. Terry says breaded pickles. That's what a fried pickle, right? I think that's a thing. I don't. Is that our menu? Oh, let me see here. Let me look. Hold on. Let me look. Don't see it. That's a suggestion. Oh, you're asking for the question of the day. Okay, that's your favorite thing. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh no, 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 no. He's asking, are we gonna have them? I don't believe so. Sorry about that. Yeah, Chris Nito says Dan's dad was a beer distributor. Dan is a beer consumer. That's true. It's a true story. That's true. My dad was a Coors distributor down in West Houston, at the edge of Harris County into Fort Bend County when I was in late elementary school through high school and through college. And I always got the invites to freshmen in high school because they figured DB would show up with the things kids should not be doing. Kids, if you're watching this at home, do not do what DB did. Do not do what he did. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Thanks, Jessica. Jennifer, I saved this for a moment because I think I want to wrap the whole conversation up with this. And I think that every person that's complaint should come out, help out for a few games, and come back with a solution. It's not easy. And it's like Chris Brown and I say, Chris Brown's our vice president of the American Association. Barney and I go back a number of years. And we always used to say, it's not just open the gates and say, come on in, folks. You don't do that. I don't flip a switch and say, come on the air, folks. That's the way it goes. I mentioned Luke Larson earlier. Luke doesn't come in at his. Luke was here yesterday making plans for the music, right? Everybody has a plan. Bobby Post, our pitching coach, doesn't just say, "Here's the ball, go out pitch." Everybody has a job to do. It's not easy. Everything has their plate. Now, yes, and that's why it's very important for me to understand what Jessica does, Emily does, Emma does, whoever. It's very important to know. And I'll give you an example. I was in Bobby's office today. I want to know what Bobby's doing, what he's doing with his pitchers. I want to know these things because it makes me a better broadcaster, makes me a better coworker, makes me a better friend and a better fan and all that. So yeah, you're right on. It sounds easy, right? Everybody's got a solution, but you got somebody back there putting out about 9 fires, and everybody's got to be happy. It's tough, not easy. And I agree. I totally agree, Jennifer. I hope that you guys when things don't go well, and they will not. They're gonna. And I said this today to the staff, guys. Things will not always go perfect. We're gonna make mistakes. Things are gonna happen. It's not gonna be swimmingly perfect. No matter. I don't care if you're going to the fanciest restaurant in the world or the local corner burger joint, fast food joint. It never goes perfect. Never. But I'll ask of you guys, as your representative out the road, your eyes and ears, I ask you this. When it doesn't go well, just try to have some grace. I'm not saying you should take it laying down, okay? If something's not satisfactory, we're going to fix it, right? But I would just sort of know that the passionate folks who work here are going to fix it. We're going to get it right. Now, it may not happen as fast as we want to do it. Sometimes we're going to fix it. And I just think it's very important. That's why it's what I used to say about Steve Montgomery. I knew Mongo before I came here. People say, Mongo's he yells at the umpires. I don't like that guy. I also knew Mongo was passionate. I knew that was passion coming out from Mongo in the third base coaching box. I knew that. And I knew the dugout loves that passion. His players played for that passion. His owner and organization loved that passion. We all love it, right? If you see Jessica's passion, I hope you see my passion, Emily's. Travis has got passion. Hope those passionate things. I'm not saying to cut us a slack. I'm not saying to let us off the hook. But just remember, when things are not going as you think they should, we're going to fix it, and we're going to do it with passion. And we thank you for your support. So I'm not saying take a line down. I'm not saying that, because you guys are first. But when you want to fly off the handle, maybe think about those folks back there sweat their tails off in the bag. That's all I'm saying. Not saying it should be lying. Don't take a line down, folks. But that's DB offering that here in Explorers Expresso. Kitty says, good to see you, Kitty. I miss you, brother. Never thought heat-related issues in the kitchen, but very insightful. Yes. One more thing about the ballpark here. If you guys have been here, you walk in, you're coming out of the southwest. Okay. That's the main gate. The main concession is right below me, facing that direction. Now, the sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. And as the sun goes, right now it's going to be higher it's higher in the south. I'm sorry, the north, and it's the south. So the sun's moving this direction, right? So by the time July gets here, it's going to be at 7 o'clock when that gate, or 6 o'clock, 6:37, where the gates are opening. That sun's coming right into the main concessions line. It's concrete down there. It's going to be a convection oven, and it gets hotter than blue. It's hot down there. Okay, so yeah, that's a real for a stretch of the night. It's really warm, and it could be 80 degrees out, but that sun's coming right at you. Just creates an oven. Here at Explorers Expresso, let's see here. Fried pickles would go great. Grab and go edition. I'll throw that on the list. Let's see here. Sean says it's great to see the inside workings of how baseball clubs work. So we do here, Sean. I'm glad you like that. I hope you guys appreciate it. We we're out here. I put myself in the line weekly during the off, or every week during the spring, and then every other week during the winter. And of course, Monday through Friday, or at least Tuesday through Friday, I do this every day. Just a much shorter show. We do this. We don't hide. Christina says, I will do anything to make those lines go faster, miss less of the game. Amen, amen, amen. With you. I'm totally with you. My wife and I have seats at what used to be called AT&T Stadium in Lubbock. My seats, I've kept these seats for a reason, because I can get in and out during the TV timeouts for a reason. If the service is quick, I can be back for the TV timeout comes back. It's like going to your own fridge, right? I get it, man. I totally get it. And Christina, you're spot on. Explorers Expresso, Dan Vaughn with you here on this 6th of May. I mentioned earlier the boys headed to Lincoln. You saw that video earlier. They're on their way. We'll be there probably in about 40 minutes or so. Tonight, exhibition game number 1. Let me give you my takes so far. I was going to give you 5. I've only got 3, really. And here are my 3 takes from what I've seen. And when they're working out at this time of day, so far I've been sitting right here in this seat watching and working, been watching. I think, what I'll tell you first, I can't tell you about pitching, although I do know this. I do know that Williman is here and he's an ace. I do know that. Outside of that, I've heard some names here and there, intriguing names, but I can't really tell you anything more than that. I will know more of that tonight. And what I can tell you is, at the plate, if you're intriguing, I think this time last year it was a lot of question marks. Can this guy remember the question marks last year? Can the Pioneer League guys play in the American Association, right? Austin Davis, check. Henry George, check, and so on, right? We knew that. Josh Day, check, so on. We know the gibbets. We know that Henry George is an all-star. Austin Davis should be. We know Zach Vuletich was. Those guys can play. We know they're back. Deshaun Knowles not here, but he will be here. We know what Deshaun Knowles can do, right? Now, this year, we have a couple arms for the Pioneer League, but most of the question is different this year, where this time last year was Pioneer League. This time it's, can the college guys transition? Okay? You've got some college pieces. Zane Denton, for example. Denton, let's see. Well, Cameron Buford's a guy that's going to transition from the Pioneer League, so I guess that throws that out. There's a few new faces, but let's see here. The college guys, the guys that were in college last year, which would be, Denton would be one. Jordan Donahue would be another, although Denton actually played. He had a limited sample size in the Pioneer League last year, but his last full long stretches were in the collegiate ranks. Again, Jordan Donahue out of Hawaii. Jackson Vanderbrink, very intriguing guy. Can he transition to North Carolina? Was a part of a College World Series team in 24 down in Omaha with UNC. Those are guys that would tell you right now. And there's a few of the pieces of the puzzle that are pitchers that are the same way. I would say Bobby has got, look at the guys like Matt Charnock. Let's see here. Who else pitching-wise there? LJ Waco. There's a couple of names right there that are, but there's a handful of guys, college ranks to now. Oh, Asuna. Alberto Asuna was in Staten Island for a short time last year, but he's basically going to play a whole season for the first time since collegiate ranks. So those are all. That's the question mark. So that's number two. Again, first is I don't know much about pitching outside of Willamette. Two is the transition, not so much Pioneer League, but the guys from the collegiate ranks to the association. And third, this team's athletic. I mean, Jackson Mayo, kid coming out of college, he's got some pop and can run. Cam Buford is a big kid, but he can run as a first baseman. You already know what Vuletich, George, Knowles, and AD can do. We know they can fly. We haven't really seen, but I believe you're going to see good things from Elliot Good as well. And I think Bravilio Vasquez very athletic. Watching him, uh, Zane Denton. I mean, these Denton, Good, Vanderbrake. They all look like they're all out of Hollywood casting for baseball play. I need to cast a baseball movie. Give me these guys. They look the part and they look athletic. Good looks like he's got a little pep in the step, little something there. Denton moves well. I mean, Buford's a really athletic fellow, and Jackson Mayo in the outfield could be the breakout player on this roster. Those are my knee jerks for what I've seen. The three things that I've seen so far here with the Sioux City Explorers here on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you. Questions, comments. I'll get to those real quickly here. Let's see here. Let's see where we at here. Do we need? Jason says, "Is Sheeto coming up this year?" I don't know. Do we need to put the troopers at the border and check when he crosses the state line? Sheriffs at the county line? I don't know. We'll see. Any update in the visa list? Yes, we have an update in the visa list. That came yesterday. We added, I got the wrong roster here. Hold on. I got like 10 of these things. Yes, roster update for you guys here at Explorers Expresso. Yesterday, Julio Rosario arrived. Yes, yesterday, or yes, today's Wednesday, so Monday night he arrived. Signed yesterday. Rosario is here. He will pitch this week. So he's a right-hander. He is 6'1", 205. He was in the Astros organization, actually the Royals organization, but Rosario is here. But yeah, he did arrive. So that's an update. The rest of the visa list still got 8 on it. If you've seen that, know that list. But there are 8 guys on the visa list. There are 28 players currently in camp with the Explorers. We can start with 28. At the moment, we'll probably have that 28 when we get to Chicago next week. At the moment. There's no extra bodies yet. Now, that's the situation there. Robbie says, I'll see Stino at the end of the month. You're going to Kansas City, are you? You've been warned, everybody. Robbie's coming to KC. So is Dr. Vaughn. She'll be there. Look out. Let's see here. Sean says, will the American Association be expanding? It'd be nice to see 2 more teams come to the league. We're going to talk to the commissioner next week. Now, I haven't got to that show yet, but we're going to talk about that. Let me tell you what I do know. We do believe a team's coming in suburban Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Blaine, Minnesota sooner than later. Everything else, we'll ask the commission next week. Josh Schaub will be on next week with us. We'll be in King County. We will do the show from King County. He will join me. We'll talk about that and ask about that. I do know just from Sean, from what the league needs, we do need some balance. We need something down south. I know as a person who has a connection to the southern sector of this league, it needs badly, and we need it badly. And the thing about it is, there's a real, and I'll just tell you this honestly, guys. This is me telling you this historically. Before I was in the league, Texas had a really good following down there with Grand Prairie and Fort Worth in this league. Both organizations went. Fort Worth disappeared. Grand Prairie is now playing cricket. Cleveland's left by themselves. In a perfect world, you'd have 3 teams at DFW, just like you have in Chicago. Unfortunately, DFW's also got affiliated baseball in Frisco. So that market's pretty much flip of the coin, maybe. But there are other markets down there that are every bit as good. Waco, Lubbock, Abilene. There's a quarter between San Antonio and Austin that's definitely ripe. Northern or the western suburbs of Austin, perhaps. Northern Houston, Tyler, Greenville, other areas north of DFW. There are areas down there. So just from that perspective, there's a lot of moving parts down there. Sean, and we'll talk to the league commissioner about it next week, but there's some moving parts there, and he'll have an update for us next week on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you here on Explorers Expresso. Chris Nito says, do you have who is playing and who are these preseason games or just the Explorers and Salt Dogs? I do have that. Let me see if I've got that. Well, I don't have all the games. Let me give you what I do have. I downloaded this earlier. This is the streaming game, so this will give you a little idea of what's happening in the streams. Here we go. I'll put this on the screen for you guys. This was the league put out today. And if you go folks on the audio side, just bear with me, but I'll read it to you. Here is what the league is streaming this week, and I'll just put it on the screen fully for you guys. There we go. You've got tonight, you've got, looks like, who is that? It's going to be Chicago's playing somebody. I can't even tell that on that screen. What is that? Let me pull this up here. It's so small writing. Let's see here. Chicago's playing. Talk amongst yourselves here. Chicago, drum roll play. Oh, Chicago's playing. Who they're playing? Some kind of travel team. I don't know who that is. I don't know who they're playing. Also tonight, North Dakota State's playing Fargo Moorhead. That's tonight. Saturday on the broadcast, it'll be Lincoln at Sioux City. Sunday, Winnipeg and Chicago. Monday, Fargo Moorhead and Kansas City. Milkman and Milwaukee are playing in Chicago against those Dogs on the 12th on Tuesday. And then you've got Winnipeg at Lake Country on the 12th as well. And then on Wednesday, Winnipeg is at Lake Country as well. I will tell you also, Sneedo, as I get this off the screen for you, our schedule is as such that I can tell you we will have an exhibition game next Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock in Kane County. We'll have our show at noon with the commissioner on. So that'll be going on behind the scenes while we are broadcasting next week. So, yes, there you go. There's some of the schedules there. Let's see here. Is it a Houston team still in the cards, Robbie asked. The team that was supposed to be, I believe, in Jersey Village, was a northwest suburb of Houston. It's not a go. I believe that thing fell apart. They've got AAA ball in Houston. I mentioned earlier Fort Bend County, Sugarland. That's where the Skeeters play, AAA team down there. I don't know if they've got that. The location of that team in Jersey Village was a little close to AAA. But I got to tell you, Houston in the summertime outside, brutal. Brutal, mate. Brutal. That's all I'm going to say. Robbie and Stino of the Legends Club. Let's do this, it says here. You guys enjoyed that in Kansas City. All right. Kenny says, how do you handle the pitching staff during exhibition games? Are pitch counts strictly enforced? Kenny, I can already tell you that I know tonight, I think Williman gets the bump tonight for the first couple innings. I don't know the actual pitch counts themselves, but on the board in the clubhouse, tonight's game, Friday's game, Saturday's game, Monday's game are already been planned out. So you'll see, I know Willie's going to be tonight. I think Gherkin pitches Friday. I think that's right. I just saw the ones I know of, but they'll be piggybacking on a traditional spring training game. You're going to see, we're going to go for 35, 40 pitches. Somebody else, what you're going to get from Willie, right? But you want to see Max Charnon or Hunter Kashira, who was signed on Monday out of University of or Ava Maria University and University of Kansas. You know what Ryan Beard's got. Ben DeTay. You want to see what Rob Hughes out of Clemson's got, right? J.D. McCracken out of Rice. Trey Morrell out of the Rocky Mountain last year. You want to see, and a guy like Antonio who needs some work. You want to get some work with him. Everybody's going to get work. A couple of guys. Tanaj Thomas looks like he could pitch today. He looks great. Tanaj Thomas looks great. Told him that too, man. He looks great, man. Tanaj is going to look great. Have a great year. But yeah, but you're going to see in some form or fashion 4 arms tonight. You'll see 4 or 5 arms on Friday. Same thing on Saturday. Although Saturday's more of a dress rehearsal, but the pitch counts 35, 40-ish, 2 innings ish, maybe a third. If a guy goes through it really 1, 2, 3, let's see if this is a fluke, right? Try it again, try it again, try it again, right? I want to see as many arms as you can in spring training here on Explorers Expresso. Dan Vaughn with you, rounding third, heading for home. The show about wrapping up our final off-season show because next week's an off-season show, but we'll be counting down opening day. And the commissioner will be on me next week, noon, right here. We'll talk about the league. Bring your questions, fire them off. Hear about the association. It's a busy man as well. And then we'll get right into opening day on Friday, next Friday night from Chicago, back home 2 weeks from this Friday, 22nd of May, against those Lincolns, all coming up. Sean says he's ready for baseball. We're all ready. Let's go. We're all ready. I didn't know. Did I miss anything? Look here. Did I miss anything? Oh, well, yeah. Guess I put this up. Opening day is coming up. We'll open a week from Friday in Chicago, and then we'll have 2 weeks here from Friday at LCP. Last call and questions and comments. Last call for questions and comments. Used to work in the pubs, and I had to play that last call jam as a DJ, so I know how that works. Went party the night. Did that too much in college. All right, let's bring this down. Give you one more shot. Talking about Chubbs earlier. He was down there. Well, he's down and gone, but looks like shot the ballpark. Look live again. There we go. Look live at the ball yard. There we go. Looks great today, LCP. Little overcast. Sky is blue in and out. But Melo's out there doing his thing. The field looks fantastic. This field looks fantastic. It also walks fantastic. It looks great, feels great. I've been coming here since 2013. This ballpark looking good, looking great, looking really, really good. All right. Sean says, Dan, I have to admit I miss your Monarchs podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sean. I love it here. This is my home. By the way, we're going to look at the 1950 Sioux City Sioux. Before I get too far here, some of you folks out there watching, I need your help. I think earlier, who was in it earlier? May have been somebody on here. Matt. It may have been Matt. Matt Art, I believe Matt. But I actually last week discovered I went to pick up my Sparklight internet stuff, right? And it's on Steuben Street. I'm sitting there on Steuben Street. Okay, I got back out. I went, wait, Steuben Street. Stu's Park was on Steuben Street. So I quickly pulled my notes up that I'd pulled up. Like, wait, what's his address? It was like 1630, right? Or 16 something. Well, the ballpark was at 14 something. I'm like going, and if you know where this part of Steuben Street is here in Sioux City, the tracks run behind it. And there's a Cargill plant there, or whatever that's the wrong word for it, but a Cargill depot, grain elevators, and it blocks most of the view of the hill behind the ballpark or behind that street facing to the north. And you can look over your shoulder, and there's a little creek there, or the Floyd River's there. There's a creek that runs right across under Steuben, and the Floyd River's behind it. Then there's another embankment there, and you're facing, and I'm trying to visualize, okay, the ballpark was right or somewhere. Well, I pulled up the address. It was a block and a half down. And what I couldn't see was until I saw this morning, the Sioux City Historical Society's post this morning, that the old ballpark pictures, you see the ballpark, you take out the Cargill plant there, you can see the bluff that people would walk down the hill, cross by the parallel of the creek, right in the ballpark that sat in the Floyd River. And there's a trucking company there, or not, I think it's a shipping company there now, on the actual 1420 Avenue site of Steuben Drive. I found Sue's Park by accident on Thursday of last week. And I was like, man, this is so cool. No, I couldn't really, all I see is a warehouse. But I'm like, man, that's where the ballpark sat. So we're going to discuss Sue's Park, the 1950 Sioux City Sioux, the San Francisco Giants affiliate, who I will tell you now did not win the league Well, let me rephrase that. They didn't win the regular season title, but they won the pennant. Talk about that on our Sioux City baseball flashbacks coming up here in 26 on the broadcast. All right, you guys ready for some Go X's? I'm ready. I think we got everything gone and good. Quickly, transactions, the league. I didn't get those to you. Let's get those quickly here. Update him here. If anything stands out to me, Milwaukee transferred Dominic Castellanos to Seattle. Congratulations to him. Tyler Grauer got released up in Fargo, so he's gone. Gary South Shore acquired Lane Dawson, a good-looking lefty out of York for the Atlantic League. Let's see here. Goza's back. Jake Goza back to bullpen help for King County. Let's see here. Trey Dillard back in Lake Country. Just sort of looking at a couple of names here. Mention the X's made these moves last week. These are on Friday and Saturday. Jonathan Aruz for a big leaguer. This is a guy that's been in the big leagues. If his visa gets sorted, this guy's been in the big leagues of like 4 different organizations, 3 organizations, 4 different organizations. This guy can play, and he will hit. Anderson Vito, also a AAA guy, right-hander. Kelvin Caceres, AAA guy, right-hander as well. Of course, you got Davis. Jaceel De La Cruz, former 40-man guy with the Braves, a right-hander, was added. There was Henry George, Nate Gherkin, Cade McCourt, who's a local Briarcliff. He was just named the Athlete of the Year at Briarcliff. The catcher from there, he's local. He's from the Twin Cities, but played at Briarcliff. This kid is really something. Be interesting to see how he transitions. Now, the Luis Torbillo thing came up on the transactions. I'll explain that briefly in a moment. Cody Tucker, right-hander. Jackson Vanderbrake, which I really look forward to seeing him. And then Zach Williman, he'll be your ace in that staff. The Torbillo deal is going to be he ain't coming here, okay? He's coming here, but he ain't coming here. Does that make sense? I mean, it's just that's a move to protect yourself down the line. He is on the visa list. Okay, he's not here, so gotta get that sorted. Let's see. I miss those Monarch days, memory lane. Hey, I just miss you, Kenny. I was glad to see you last month. I had a going away shindig, and Kenny was there and his lovely bride, and like to see them. So anyway, all right. I think they got everything. Is the ballpark camera still on? Yeah, I guess it is. All right, let's move along. Let's do Go Exits. You guys ready? I'm ready. Let's move this down. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. 5 minutes the entire time. We're going to do a dress rehearsal on Saturday on AABaseball.tv. It's probably going to be a bit of wheels off. We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Eric's going to be producing us some really exciting things. Andrew Delapiano will be here next week. We're looking forward to having him on the crew. He'll be on the broadcast with me in the studio. We got some great things planned. Just looking forward to it, man. I love what we do, and looking forward to being on KSCJ as well. All that coming up. So here we go. Guys, ready for the Go X's? Let's just see what flying around. I don't usually see those. You don't see those around here very often, do you? It's the big refuelers, but he's flying around doing a touch and goes here. All right, here we go. Go X's. Oh, by the way, I'm excited, man. Jess is gonna be fired up. If you know anything if you got any information on the 1950 Sioux City Sioux, or you know someone, or maybe you perhaps went to the ballpark, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Email me at vaughn@xsbaseball.com. For you folks on the screen, there it is. But again, you know someone that's been to Sue's Park. You went to Sue's Park. You got pictures of Sue's Park. I want to hear from you. I want as much details about Sue's Park as I can get. All right? Love you guys. Thanks to Jessica Hutchinson. If you're not hungry, you ought to be. Those tenderloins were delicious, by the way. Delicious tenderloins, everybody. Delicious tenderloins. Thanks to you guys who stopped by 5 minutes the entire time. And appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next Wednesday from King County. We'll come your way and talk to Josh Schaub, the commissioner of the American Association. Let's be better fans tomorrow than we're today. Let's show more love tomorrow. We did today going forward to 2026. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Let's play the close in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
hitting and running and stealing. So come out to the park for that big league good time feeling. Well, it's baseball Sioux City style. Baseball Sioux City style. Gonna conquer the league.